Hello guys, welcome to Marvel Mondays. Today we are going to be talking about the season finale of Loki, not the series finale. I know, I am surprised too. And we're going to be talking about Deadpool's finally in the MCU. We're going to talk about how that happened and what's next for his future. And well, same thing about Loki, but there's tons of more to talk about with that episode. So let's just go ahead and dive right into it. So, season finale, a lot happened, but one major thing happened is the villain, the guy that was behind us the whole time, was Kang the Conqueror himself. Now, and it was the same actor playing him. I don't know the name of the guy, but I do know him though. He was in this really good show that I used to like to watch. It was really good. So when I heard he was gonna be Kang, I was really excited because, his acting performance in that show was really good. But when I saw that it was him, the doors opened in the elevator. Me and my brother went nuts. I was crying, dude. I was crying. It was amazing, man. I liked what he was wearing. He looked like a gangster, type of Kang the Conqueror. Hashtag Monday energy. And I really liked it. I liked how he was acting. He acted slick. He acted it was kind of scary how he was acting too at the same time. But it was just really cool though. I liked how he did that. How he acted, being King and stuff. That was really cool. Then we had Sylvie and Loki. What Kang was saying was, he didn't say that it was Kang, but it's Kang. It's the same actor. He was wearing his color scheme, and then he said, "I've been called many names, and Conqueror is one of them. Kang the Conqueror." So if you guys don't know anything about Kang the Conqueror, I'll probably put in the description the best comic book that would probably explain it. I'm sure you'll find a Kang the Conqueror comic for cheap. If you don't know. So the big thing about what King was saying is that he was tired. He's been doing this for a while. Now, when he was saying that, I was immediately thinking this guy's playing him. Because he was basically kind of described as the one that remains. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Which is another word for King in the comics, how he's described. So King was basically just saying I'm too old for this, and he wanted Loki and Sylvie to take over. But I immediately thought it's got to be a trap. And then Loki and Sylvie got into it because Sylvie wants to kill him so bad because everything he did to all these just people that are trying to live their lives, improving the timelines and stuff. So. And then they ended up kissing. Yay, we figured that was gonna come. And then after the kiss, Sylvie pushed him into one of the, I forgot what it was called, one of the pads. She opened one of the portals open, and she pushed him back into the TVA. And then she just was trying to stab him and stuff. And then Kang was if you kill me, there's going to be more versions of me coming from different multiverses, and the whole multiverse is just going to break, and it's just every multiverse is going to collide. So, and then if you don't kill me, then, if you don't kill me, then, you can take over and I can just live my life. And she obviously killed him, and then the multiverse, which was beautiful to me, broke. So, big multiverse war coming up probably. And, next thing you know, it pans back to Loki. Loki's making his way to Mobius, and he was literally in tears. Mobius, me and Sylvie did something wrong, and then he's like, "Who are you?" to Loki, and then he was calling for help because he doesn't know who Loki is. And then he looked to his left, and that big statue what the timekeepers were. Timekeepers, it was Kang in his suit, just right there, a statue. And then it ended, and then post-credit said season 2. So. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy, man. Finally seeing Kang. No, I don't know for sure if he's gonna be the next Thanos, the next big bad villain of this saga. It seems like it. I would put my money on it, and I love it because Kang can do some crazy stuff. He can do more than Thanos can do, and it makes sense because Sylvie did that, and he was basically the one that. I think I was planning the multiverse to just collide. I think definitely that's what was happening in that episode. And it being a season 2 was crazy too. I was glad though, and it makes sense because that show did so good, better than WandaVision, did better than Falcon Winter Soldier. I bet you money it did better than Netflix shows, and that's Netflix. It was just so good, and everybody loved it. I mean, obviously the critics loved it, but sometimes when critics love movies, they're lying. But the critics were right about this time. Everyone loved it, and I didn't hear any bad complaint. I heard a couple like, "Oh, this episode is boring," and so is your life. I don't want to know your search history. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, this is big because Kang's plan, I think, was the multiverse. How like the big thing of last saga was if Thanos snaps, half the universe, disappears, and that's what happened. But we had to wait to see that at the end. With this one, the multiverse collided, and we got to see that like in the first phase of the saga. So it's kind of like backwards psychology, but it's gonna lead to like a huge multiverse war. I already know it, and I'm so excited. And that's gonna be the next Endgame, Secret Wars. And I just been predicting that since Endgame ended. Me and my bro, we've been thinking that, and it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. So yeah, and then Kang also said that he planned Loki into the coming. So that means he planned. I like to call it the Lokiverse. He planned it the whole time. So yeah, he planned everything. I think, and then maybe he might have not planned him dying, but I think he did. I mean, what else would he wanted him to get stabbed for? He wanted to literally die. There's no way he planned that. And I know that for sure that he planned that. But yeah, so my predictions of what's next to come. Kang, obviously, is going to be named in Quantumania. So, here's the thing. You might see another version of Kang in there, and then another version of Kang in the TVA in Loki Season 2. I'm hoping, though, that it's the same Kang, but I'm just saying because, let's be honest, Loki Season 2, if they were to make it, it would come out in, 2023, towards the end of the year. Maybe the beginning? I don't know, but I think it would be the end of the year. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I'm pretty sure comes out 2023. Yeah, I think it does, the beginning of the year. So there's no way that, it does. So there's no way, you know what I mean? So, it's gotta be a different version. I hope it's not. I hope Loki Season 2 comes out pretty quickly. I mean, they probably will. I hope so. I really do, because I really want Kang to be one Kang. It would be cool if there's different Kangs, because there's more, it makes him more powerful and awesome. So I mean, it would be cool too, but it's gonna be real interesting of how they're gonna put him in. But I predict that it's probably a different version. You know what I mean? I mean, that would just make more sense. Like he said, he's probably held his word against him that there's gonna be different versions of himself, and that's probably what's gonna happen. Straight up. Hashtag Monday Energy. So yeah. What I predict for Loki. I did think this immediately when the show ended. Eventually that Loki is gonna see Thor. Thor in our main timeline right now. After he's not gonna show up in Thor Love and Thunder. Loki, there's no way. I mean, it might be a post credit, but I doubt it. We might not even see Loki in any other MCU project until 2024. That's just what I'm thinking. I hope not, but you never know. The MCU timeline right now is effed because of Corona. So yeah, but I think he's definitely gonna see Thor, and then it's gonna be very, very emotional. But as of now, I don't know what Loki's gonna do in Season 2. They're probably gonna lock him up again. Probably gonna do the same thing in Season 1. I mean, so Kang probably brainwashed them or just kind of reset to TVA. You know what I mean? So only God knows what Sylvie's gonna do. Probably gonna find each other again and rethink this whole mess and try to fix it and have an epic battle with Kang. Who would have thought the multiverse war started with 2 Lokis? One that I'm pretty sure died in Infinity War, but then Rockstar says that there was an Easter egg in the back where he didn't die. It was another version of himself. Only God knows. Probably not. I doubt it. But yeah, I would never thought that this Loki would be the start, once again, of the big bad. He was the start of Thanos. We saw Thanos in the post-credit of Avengers. He was the start of that by literally working for him. And then he started this by, messing up and taking the Tesseract when he wasn't supposed to. Like an idiot. So, yeah. It was an awesome episode. And I'm very excited for Season 2. And I'm really glad everyone liked it. The thing about me and Marvel, everything, I know every show that's coming up is gonna be good, but Loki, I feel like, is beyond the best show. It's probably one of the best Marvel projects ever created, and I just think that that's definitely the case. And I personally think the guy who wrote and directed that, forgot his name, he deserves an Oscar all the way, dude. He deserves an Oscar. I mean, that guy did things most people can't do with storytelling, and man, he had some balls adding Kang in there in that show. So that was awesome. I mean, you could tell from the Easter eggs in the episode before, it was Kang because the Kang towers and stuff. I mean, that was just great. It was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments about Loki and that episode, and what you guys think is gonna happen next. Now, the thing that I want to talk about that made my week, and when I heard the news that day, I was at work, I was literally crying inside. I was like, I can't believe this is actually happening. Deadpool is in the MCU now. I click on the video, it's Deadpool reacting to movies. I mean, you know, like the intro, and then he was reacting like to the trailers, and he was reacting to him, Ryan Reynolds, who plays him. Obviously his next movie, Free Guy, which looks really good. Excited for that. Yeah, and then Korg was with him, and I'm like, dude, let's go. And it was funny. They were talking about Disney Plus, making fun of it, and yeah, it was awesome. And then he was talking about like, hey Korg, how do you get to the MCU? And then Korg said some nonsense about climbing up to the top and falling down, and then you'll get an email from Marvel, which was pretty funny. And yeah, just Deadpool's jokes, man, about Disney Plus was so funny, because just people getting Disney Plus, you know, it's a lot with the money thing and trying to compare to Netflix, trying to get better than it. So it just makes sense why he did that. So yeah, but it was awesome. I loved the video. Definitely guys check it out, put it in the description. It was so awesome. It was funny, dude. It was like number 2 on trending. It got to number 1 on trending eventually, but it was like number 2 on trending on YouTube for like the longest time, with 6.9 million views. I mean, it was awesome. Probably more views now though, but man, it was so funny, man. You guys gotta watch it. But yeah, you know, his first interaction of an MCU character, and who would have thought it would be Korg? Hashtag money energy. But here's the thing though, I meant to say Monday energy, I'm an idiot. But the main thing is here though, is that who would have thought that Korg and Deadpool would just go so good together? Like, I never thought that would happen. I was like, man, Deadpool's first interaction is probably gonna be with Spider-Man. And I mean, that would be amazing, because the comics are like just so good. The Spidey Pool comics are amazing, you know. But then boom, Korg. I was like, what the frick? I was like, okay. And then I was watching it, I was like, yo, we need a movie of these guys. So that would be awesome if Korg's in, you know, Deadpool 3. Only God knows who's gonna be in Deadpool 3. But yeah, I want a Rocket and Deadpool crossover now. It's just gonna be amazing. And then that rumor from the like almost the past year, that he has like the biggest contract in MCU history. Ryan Reynolds, bigger contract than Robert Downey Jr., which is crazy. So that means it's gonna be like 10 plus movies, which is amazing, dude. I'm so excited. Ryan definitely deserves this. I know he doesn't like being called this, like he said in the video, but Ryan's definitely Deadpool. He's basically Deadpool, you know. Sometimes, you know, you see like that actor playing that role, and you're like, they were born for this role. Like Robert Downey Jr., exactly how Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. I mean, it's amazing, and he's like my favorite. I know he's an anti-hero, but he's my favorite superhero, man. My favorite Marvel character. I love his comics. I like most of my comics are Deadpool. I love him, and then seeing him in the MCU finally, and you know, it's just crazy. His first and second movie was awesome. So this third one is gonna be under Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be amazing. I'm crossing my fingers that it's gonna be a Howard the Duck and Deadpool crossover, man. That would make my dreams come true. But tell me what you guys think in the comments about all this news. I mean, we got the multiverse war coming. Kang's finally here. Probably saw the big baddie. It's gonna be season 2 of Loki. What the hell? Deadpool and Korg. Deadpool's finally in the MCU. I mean, this is crazy, you know. It's crazy news, crazy stuff that happened this week. So yeah, it was awesome. I'm not gonna be here next week because I'm gonna be on vacation, so no video for next week. But I promise you, I'll make a good video for the week after. I promise you, I'll make a good video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Out.